Hi, my name is Desiree Penton, owner of Dragon Yoga in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. We are launching our online YouTube channel, and this is our first class. It's The Ghost. It's an Alignment 1 class that focuses on proper setup and alignment while also making postures very accessible. We have several more coming in the future, and you can follow us at dragonyogaokc.com. If you could come to the middle of your mat in a seated position. We're going to come into easy pose, pulling the flesh out from underneath your sit bones. Lining the crown of your head up with your tailbone, taking your hands to the tops of your thighs. Start to close your eyes, taking a few cleansing breaths in and out through your nose. And just taking some time to connect to your mat. Knowing that for the next hour, all that matters is you. Taking a big breath in. Exhale everything out. And slowly start to inhale in for 3, 2, 1. Pausing at the top. And then exhale for 3, 2, 1. Pausing at the bottom. Inhale in for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Relaxing the muscles of your face. Inhale in for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pausing at the top. Exhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Feeling the expansion on all 4 sides of your ribs as you hold at the top. Breathing in a little bit more, and then let it all go. Taking your lips together, relaxing the back of your throat, start to tap into that Ujjayi breath. It's an audible breath, like you're fogging up a mirror. And you want it to be loud enough that your neighbor can hear you. So when they start to forget to breathe throughout class, it's a small reminder to go back to their breath. And then you're going to inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, palms together at heart center, growing tall in your spine. Pressing your palms together, take a moment and set an intention for your class. Something that you want to manifest in your life. Maybe it's something you want to bring into your practice. Or maybe you just want to sweat out some of the stress you've had from this week. And then taking a moment to bow your chin, honoring your intention and those around you, sharing energy with you. And then as you lift your head, open your eyes and inhale, arms up, reach up, stretch up. Interlacing your fingers, take your palms to the ceiling. Reaching up and back. Good. Grounding down into your right hip, reach up and over to the left, getting that nice side body stretch. And then inhale back to center, up and over other side. Good. Coming back to center, reach up, look up, stretch up, releasing the bind of your fingers and hands. And then you're going to take your right arm down and reach your left arm up and over, getting a bigger side body stretch here. And then inhale back to center. Reach up, stretch up, look up, both arms. And then take your left hand down and reach your right arm up and over. Inhaling both arms back up to center, reaching up, stretching up, looking up. Good. This time your right hand comes behind you and your left hand comes to the outside edge of your right hip. Press your back hand down as you lift your heart. Inhale, lengthen up. Exhale, twist and look over your back shoulder. Inhale, lengthen up. Exhale, twist. Coming back to center, inhale, both arms up, reach up, stretch up, look up. Exhale, twist, other side. Left hand comes behind you, right arm goes to the outside of your left thigh this time. Inhale, lengthen your heart up high. Exhale, twist, look over your left shoulder. And then again, inhale, lengthen, big in your chest. Exhale, twist through your belly. And then release, just coming back to center, taking your hands in front of you, crawling forward, coming into a box. Spreading your fingers super far apart, taking your wrist underneath your shoulders. And then curl your toes under and move your knees slightly back from your hip bones. Good. Inhale, drop your belly down, pull your heart forward, look up, sit bones spread apart, heart lengthens towards the front edge of your mat. And then on your exhale, pull your belly in, round your spine, tuck your chin, tuck your tailbone, lengthening your heart up towards the ceiling. Inhale, drop your belly down, pull your heart forward, press your palms down, push your tailbone behind you. And then exhale, pull your belly in, round your spine, tuck your chin, lengthening your spine towards the ceiling. Good. One more time. Drop your belly, pull your heart forward, look up, shoulders away from you, collarbone spread wide. And then exhale, belly in, round spine, tuck chin, tuck tailbone. Good. Coming back to a neutral spine. Raise your right arm up super high. And then thread it through, pressing down, pulling to the right side of your sticky mat. So your shoulder presses down, your right ear is touching the mat, and you're pulling your right shoulder towards the outside edge of your mat. And then raise your right arm back up, reach up, look up, stretch up. And then take your right hand behind your head, elbow goes up, and then your right elbow is going to crunch into your left elbow crease for 3, 2, 1, and then lift that arm up. Good. Extending it forward. Take your left leg behind you, pull your belly in, and pulse up for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Elbow to knee for 3, 2, 1. And then tap your neighbor on the right and kick your neighbor on the left. A gentle kick. And then back to center. Right arm's going to reach around and grab the outside edge of your left foot as you push your foot into your hands and lift up, looking over your back shoulder. And then come back to center one last time for a quick pulse, and then drop it back down. Switching sides, raise that left arm up super high. And then thread it through, pressing your left shoulder down, pulling to the left side of your sticky mat. Getting that stretch on the back of that shoulder. And then reach your left arm back up, look up, stretch up, and then take your left hand behind your head. Take your left elbow to your right elbow crease for 3, back up, 2, 1, and then lift your left arm up super high, look up, and then take it forward, extending your right leg behind you, pushing through your right heel, pull your belly in, pulsing up for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Elbow to knee, crunching in for 3, back out, 2, 1. This time, tap your neighbor on the left and kick your neighbor on the right. Gentle love tap, and then come back to center. Left hand reaches around and grabs outside of your right foot, pushing your foot into your hands and lifting your right knee up and looking over your left shoulder. Coming back to center for one last pulse, and then take it back down. So we're going to step back into plank. taking your legs back behind you, lining up your shoulders, hips, knees, and ankles. Pulling your belly in, pulling your hands towards your feet and feet towards your hands. Start to feel that core heat up. And then start to take your hips high, chest towards your thighs, coming into dog pose. Inhaling up on your tiptoes, bend your knees, tilt your sit bones up high. Pressing your palms down into the mat, extending from your heart space forward, and your tailbone is lengthening up. As you straighten your legs, press your thigh bones back, keeping your chest towards your thighs, lengthening your spine. And then looking in between your hands, I want you to step to the front of your mat, coming into forward fold. Feet are hip distance apart, so that's 2 fists between your feet. The outer edges of your feet are parallel to the outside edges of your mat. And your hands are going to come underneath your shoulders, fingertips touching the ground. You're going to shift your weight forward so that your hips are over your heels. Inhale, push your fingertips down, lengthening your spine forward. Artichondrasana, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. One more time, pressing your fingertips down, half back, getting long on your side bodies. Take your hands to your hips, elbows up. Squeezing your shoulders up towards the ceiling, press down into the 4 corners of your feet as you start to stand up. Arms up, reach up, stretch up, look up. Tailbone lengthens down, heart lifts up and back. You're going to grab opposite elbows, plugging into the 4 corners of your feet. Feel your muscles start to pull up as you bump to the right with your hips and reach up and over to the left with your arms. Chins off your chest, shoulders squeeze together, collarbones pull away, bump and reach even more. And look up towards the ceiling. Inhale back to center, bump to the left, reach up and over to the right. Inhale back to center. Taking your hands behind you, fingertips up your back. Placing your palms at your waistline, I want you to use your fingers and palms to press your tailbone and glutes down as you lift your heart up and back, squeezing your shoulder blades together. There's more of a lift up than a dump in the lower back. Inhale back to center. Exhale, forward fold. Press the fingertips down into the ground. Pull your heart forward, lengthening your spine, making sure your hips stay over your heels so weight is forward. Taking your hands to your hips, elbows up, press into the ground and stand up. Arms up, reach up, stretch up. Palms are facing forward, hands are active and strong, shoulders squeeze together, collarbones pull away from one another. Feel the muscles of your legs pull up as you bump to the right and reach up and over to the left. Really using those arms to reach towards the left side of the room. Keeping your chin off your chest. Digging into the ground with your feet, bump and reach even more. And then inhale back to center. Plugging into the 4 corners of your feet, grounding into the ground again, bump to the left, reach up and over to the right. Chest stays high, bump and reach, using those obliques to keep you up. Inhale back to center. This time you're going to take your hands out like bull pose, squeezing the bottom edges of your shoulder blades together, expanding through your collarbones. Tailbone is going to lengthen down as you lift your heart up high. Small back bend here. Inhale back to center. Exhale, forward fold. Heart pulls forward, palms come together at heart center, elbows to the insides of your thighs. Drop your butt, coming into porta potty. Hover, don't cover. Press your inner ankles down and back, spread your sit bones apart, pull your heart forward, lengthening your spine. You are going to dig your elbows into your thighs and resist as you pull your heart even more forward, finding cobra in your chest, lengthening your spine, taking your tailbone towards the back of your mat. And then you're going to separate your feet mat distance, toes out, heels in, drop your butt, sinking down into Malasana Yogi Squat. Pressing your elbows into your thighs, pull your heart up towards the ceiling. Reaching your right arm down and out, lift your left arm up. Looking up towards your left hand, opening your chest up towards the ceiling. And then switch sides. Left hand reaches down and out, right arm reaches up. Dristi is up towards your left thumb. And then come back to center. So from here, we're going to roll all the way onto our backs, pulling our knees into our chest. Just flop down. And then you're going to take your hands behind your head, interlacing your fingers, and extend your legs straight up towards the ceiling. Squeeze your thighs together, shins together, ankles together, and start to pulse up for 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Holding at the top, and then take your hands up towards the ceiling, interlacing your fingers, releasing your index finger, and start to drop your right foot an inch above the ground. And then start to pulse towards your right foot for 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Switch sides, going to the left for 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Both legs back up. Bend your knees, taking your shins parallel to the mat. Take your hands back behind your head. Last 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pulling your knees into your chest. Good job, you guys. And then slowly start to gain some momentum as you rock back and forth, coming to the front of your mat in forward fold. Take your palms to the mat, step it back, plank pose, lining your shoulders, hips, knees, and ankles up in one straight line. Belly pulls in, and then as you look forward, start to lower down, coming onto your bellies. Make sure you don't drop your shoulders past your elbows. Pelvis drops, point your toes, claw the ground, Bhujangasana, Cobra Pose. Good. Push your fingertips down, pull your heart forward, lengthening your side bodies. Exhale all the way down. So we're going to come into what we call a creepy cobra at Dragon Yoga. So you're going to extend your arms out in front of you, coming onto your fingertips. You're going to use your fingertips to really pull your ribcage towards the front edge of your mat as you start to work your fingertips back beside you as your heart lifts higher. Using those fingertips, clawing the ground, pulling your chest forward, lengthening your heart up towards the ceiling. And then lowering down, coming into high plank. So take your hands beside you, lining your thumbs up with the bottom of your breastbone. Curl your toes, raise your knees, belly in, lift up, high plank pose. Downward facing dog, hips go high, chest towards your thighs. Looking in between your hands, step to the front of your mat, forward fold. Weight is going to be forward in the balls of your feet, so stack your hips over your heels, lengthening your spine, flat back. Push your fingertips down, pull your heart forward. Your right foot is going to stay there, your left foot's going to step back for half split pose. Wiggling your left foot back, drop your back knee, and start to shift your hips back. Heel presses down, heart pulls forward, dorsiflexing your front foot. Really hinge that right hip back and up as you start to extend your spine forward. Press your heel down, pulling your heel towards the back of your mat. Bending into your right knee, take your hands to the top of your thigh. Pressing your hands into your thigh, lift your heart up high, taking your lower belly up off your front thigh. Finding cobra in your chest, pushing your left hip forward. Inhale, both arms up overhead, Anjaneyasana prep, reach up, look up, stretch up. Making sure your back toes are curled under. Take your left fingertips to the mat, raise your right arm high. Feel your collarbones expand away from one another as you take your top hand and grab your back foot. pulling your left heel towards your glutes. Look up. And then release your back foot coming into low lunge. So your hands are going to frame your right foot. Your back knee is going to lift. You're going to spike your back heel. Use your fingertips to pull your chest towards the front edge of your mat. And then creepy crawly to the left, lining your sternum up with the left front corner of your mat. Fingertips press down, heart pulls forward, and you're lining your middle finger up with the middle of your wrist, elbow, and your deltoid on both arms. And then your left fingertips are going to stay down and your right arm's going to reach up. Staying light in that bottom hand, really using your feet to squeeze the mat, keeping your foundation strong. And then take your left arm up and your right arm down. Reaching up and back. Right palm comes to the top of your left hamstrings. Press into your hamstrings and lift your chest and heart up higher. Keep bending into that front knee and pull it to the right outer edge of your mat. Both arms up, reach up, look up, stretch up. Getting big in your chest. Palms face forward, heart lifts high. And then take your hands to heart center, pressing your palms together. Slowly and controlled, shift forward, warrior 3. Inner thighs squeeze together, back toes spread apart. Inhale, flat back, heart lengthens towards the front edge of your mat. Left foot stays there, right foot steps back, low lunge. Wiggle your back foot back a little bit, so when you drop your knee, you're in front of your kneecap, and then shift both hips back, half split pose. Heel presses down, heart pulls forward, fingertips are a guide to pull your chest forward, and then start to slowly bend into that left knee, taking both hands to the top of your left thigh, pressing your palms down, lifting your heart high. Lift both arms up, reach up, stretch up, look up. Really feeling that stretch on the front of that right quad and those hip flexors. Right fingertips come to the mat, left arm reaches up. Feel the expansion as you reach your arms away from one another. And then take your top hand and grab your back foot. Grabbing the outer edge, pull your foot towards your butt. Twist your chest up towards the ceiling. And then release, coming into low lunge. Both hands frame your front foot, your back knee lifts up. You're gonna spike the back heel so you feel the calf muscles actually start to engage and grab the bone. And lengthening your heart forward even more, creepy crawly to the right, lining your sternum up with that right front corner of your mat. Fingertips press down, heart lifts up. Squeezing the sticky mat with both feet, opening your chest up towards the ceiling. And then start to reverse it. Your right arm goes high and your left arm is going to go to your back thigh. Pressing your palm into your thigh, reaching your right arm up even more. Left hand comes up, reach up, look up, stretch up, Anjaneyasana, Crescent Lunge. Lifting that chest up even higher. Take your hands to heart center, palms pressed together. Really working on engaging that front leg as you shift forward, coming into Virabhadrasana C. Inner thighs squeeze together, back toes spread apart, spine gets long. Make sure you keep that right hip even with your left. So internally rotate your back leg, pull your heart forward, and then right foot meets left, forward fold. Inhale, flat back, pulling your heart forward, lengthening your spine to the front edge of your mat. Palms come together at heart center, elbows to the insides of your thighs, drop your butt. Sit bones spread apart, inner ankles push down and back as your heart pulls forward. Widen your stance tone. There you go. Remember, everything's a motherfucking cobra, so shoulders squeeze together, heart pulls forward, collarbones lengthen away from one another, and then come up onto your tiptoes, making it a little bit tougher. Inner ankles pull towards one another to stabilize. And then you're going to take your heels back down, separate your feet, toes out, heels in, drop your butt. Malasana variation. Press your elbows into your thighs, lengthening your heart up towards the ceiling. And then reach your right arm down and out and lift your left arm up. Look up at that left thumb. Good. And then switching sides. Left hand reaches down and out. Right arm reaches up. Dristi is up at that right thumb. Heart is lengthening up and out. And then back to center. Palms pressed together. Raise your head up. There you go. Take your palms to the mat, and then you're going to hop or step back to plank. Shoulders, hips, knees, and ankles in one straight line. Your belly pulls in, lower down. Shoulders stay elbow height, pelvis drops. Point your toes behind you, making sure all 10 toes touch the ground. and then lift up Bujungasana, Cobra Pose. Pressing your fingertips down, pull your heart forward, lengthening your spine. Lowering down, this time you're going to come into Shavasana, Locust Pose. So interlace your fingers behind your back at your sacrum. Squeeze the butt of your palms together. And for this class, I want to take your forehead to the mat, bend your elbows, and make sure the butt of your palm squeezes together, elbows up. And then you're going to start to lift your heart forward and up as you straighten your arms, reaching towards the back of your mat, straightening your arms. And then lift your hands up off your butt, press down, lift up even more, and then release. Lining your thumbs up with the bottom of your breastbone, raise your shoulders elbow height, curl toes, raise knees. So shoulders, elbows, knees, and ankles are in one straight line, and then your belly button lifts off the ground first, high plank pose. Downward facing dog. Big breath here. Big exhale out. You guys are doing great. Big inhale in. Big exhale out. And then looking in between your hands, step to the front of your mat, coming into forward fold. Making sure you stack your hips over your heels, feet are hip distance apart. Outer edges of your feet parallel to the outside edges of your mat. Inhale, flat back, pulling your heart forward, lengthening your spine, making sure you don't lock out your knees. Hands on your hips, elbows up, shoulders squeezed together, and then stand up. Arms up, reach up, stretch up, Urdhva Hastasana, reaching up and back. And then exhale, forward fold. Keeping your right foot there, step your left leg back, low lunge. Don't mind Tony, he's just part of the studio. Wiggling your left foot back, spike your back heel so that your calf is engaged. Right hip back, left hip forward, stacking your right knee directly over your right heel. Creepy crawly to the left front corner of your mat, staying on those fingertips, elbows out wide. Find cobra in your chest. Find your stance, Tom. Right foot forward more. Yeah. And then arch your upper back more. Tanisha, go towards Rosie more with your left hand too. Pull your left, yeah. Left fingertips are going to stay down. Right hand's going to reach up, look up, stretch up, arching your upper back towards the ceiling, and then squeezing the sticky mat so much that your left arm goes high and your right arm goes to your back thigh. Reaching up and back. Feeling that big side body stretch on your left side. And then take both arms up, crescent lunge. Reaching up and looking up towards the ceiling. Take your hands to heart center, pressing your palms together. Slow, controlled shift forward, warrior three. Inner thighs squeeze together, back toes spread apart, get long in your spine. Pulling your heart towards the front edge of your mat. Your left hand's going to come down and your right hand's going to reach up towards the ceiling. Coming into Parita, Artichondrasana, Revolved half moon. Those bottom fingertips help pull your chest forward as you push your back heel away from you, reaching your top arm up even more. Both hands come back to the mat, standing splits. Taking a big controlled step back, windmill your arms open, warrior two. Back heel drops, chest stacks over your hips. Your front heel intersects the middle arch of your back foot as you squeeze the sticky mat with both feet. Tuck your left butt cheek in and your right glute is going to tuck under. Drop your shoulders, Tom. Good. And then pull your left hand towards the back of your mat so your shoulders stack over your hips. Good. Squeezing the sticky mat with both feet, make sure you're rolling to the outer edge of your back foot, and then your right palm is going to turn up and you're going to reverse it, reaching up and back. Right hand comes to your back thigh. Keep bending into that front knee, feeling the stretch from your right hip out through your right fingertips. And then as you hinge forward, you're going to reach towards the front of your mat. Reach, and then take your right forearm to the top of your right thigh, palm faces up. Turning your bicep towards the front of your mat, windmill your left arm around, pinky edge down. Make sure you squeeze your shoulder blade back onto your back as you plug your shoulder into the shoulder socket. Keep bending into that front knee, twisting through your chest. And then your dristi is going to go up towards that left tricep. Coming back to warrior two. Keep bending into that front knee, and then windmilling down low lunge. Spiking your back heel, take your left foot to meet your right, forward fold. Inhale, flat back, pull your heart forward, lengthening your spine. Left foot stays there, right foot steps back, low lunge. Walking it over to the right, pulling your heart forward, coming into lizard. Elbows out, chest up, heart forward. You got this, guys. Right hand stays down, left hand reaches up. Reach up, look up, stretch up. And then squeeze the sticky mat and reverse it. Take that right arm high and that left arm to your back thigh. I know you guys are getting tired, but make sure your knee doesn't knock in. Keep pulling it to the outer edge of your mat. And then take both arms up, crescent lunge. Good, pressing into that front foot. Reach up a little bit more. And then take hands to heart center, palms pressed together. Shift forward, Virabhadrasana 3. Inner thighs are going to squeeze together. Back toes are going to spread apart. Spine's going to get long. And your right hand's going to go down this time and your left arm's going to reach up. Coming into Parita, Artichondrasana, Revolved, half moon. Pulling your heart forward, lengthening your spine. Left hand meets right, standing splits. Press that heel up just a little bit more. And then a big controlled step back. Dropping your back heel, windmilling your arms around, coming into Warrior 2. Squeeze the sticky mat with both feet, bend into that front knee a little bit more, and then reverse it. Left arm goes up, right arm goes down. Reach up, look up, stretch up, keep bending into that front knee. And then start to hinge forward, taking your left forearm to the top of your left thigh, palm faces up. And then windmill your top arm around. Squeeze your shoulder onto your back, pinky edge down. And then looking at your left toes, you're going to shift forward, coming into Artichondrasana, half moon. Take that left arm down in front of you, lining up your shoulders, elbows, and wrists. Stacking your hips, trying really hard not to pigeon toe that standing leg. Those toes are going to want to go in and you're going to correct it. And then take both hands down, standing split, squaring up your hips, raising that back heel up just a little bit more. And your right foot meets your left, forward fold. Inhale, flat back, pull your heart forward, lengthening your spine. Take your palms together at heart center, elbows to the insides of your thighs, drop your butt. Taking your femur bones parallel to the mat, dig your inner ankles down and back as you pull your chest forward, lengthening your spine. Coming up onto your tiptoes, pulling your heels together, stabilizing yourself here, and then start to raise your chest and take your hands in front of you, palms facing one another, like you're going to pull yourself up on a pull-up bar. So find your claws, palms face one another, palms face you. It's Tom. Yeah. Grab the pull-up bar, pull your chest up even higher as your butt goes back. Good, and then release, forward fold. Separate your feet, mat distance, toes out, heels in, drop your butt. Reaching your right arm down and out, left arm up. Good. And if you want to take a bind here, you can take your right hand around your right shin and reach your left arm back behind you. Keep raising that chest up towards the ceiling. And then switch sides. The Tony. If you bind on the last side, do so on this side. And then come back to center. Good. We're going to go ahead and stand up here, taking your block to the middle of your mat, long ways. So you're going to stand on your block with both feet. So your toes and ankles are going to come together, and then you're going to drop your butt towards your heels and take your knees out wide. Coming up onto your tiptoes, but keeping the weight back in your heels, I want you to walk your arms out in front of you as far as you can, taking your chest down between your thighs. Keeping your heart low and your gaze forward, start to walk your hands back so that your triceps are underneath your shins and your knees are in your armpit creases. As you press your palms down, I want you to think about shifting your chin past the front edge of your mat and pushing your feet back behind you, maybe raising one foot at a time, or maybe both will come up. Chest forward, and then coming all the way back down. Nice job. Taking that block out beside you and come back to your forward fold. Good. Pressing your palms down, step it back, plank pose. And then shifting forward, coming up onto your tiptoes, lower down, Chaturanga Dandasana. Pelvis drops, point your toes, claw the ground, Bhujangasana, Cobra Pose. Fingertips press down, heart lifts high. And then lower all the way back down. Bending your knees, reaching around, grabbing the outside edges of your feet, coming into Dandasana, floor bow. So your hands grab the outer edges, pull your knees together. And then you're going to start to kick your feet back and lift your knees and chest up. Keep pushing your feet back, lift up, and then lower all the way back down. Taking your hands beside you, palms press down, curl your toes, raise your knees, shoulders lift, elbow height, lift it up, high plank. Hips go high, dog pose. Good. Taking a big, full, deep belly breath in, strong exhale out. Taking a big, full, deep belly breath in, strong exhale out. And then look in between your hands, start to walk to the front of your mat, forward fold. Inhale, flat back, heart pulls forward, lengthening your spine. Hands on your hips, elbows up. And then stand up. Arms up, reach up, stretch up, look up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back, pull your heart forward, lengthening your spine. Right foot's gonna stay there, left foot's gonna step back, low lunge. Dropping your back knee, shifting your hips back, coming into half split pose. Heel presses down, heart pulls forward, lengthening your spine towards your toes. If full splits is in your posture, you can shoot that right leg forward as far as you can, or you can just stay in that modified half split pose. Bending into your right knee, push your hips forward. Lifting both arms up, Anjaneyasana prep. Reach up, look up, stretch up. Take your chest up over your hips. And then left hand down, right hand up. Good. Top arm's gonna grab your back foot, pulling your foot closer to your glutes. And then if you have enough mobility, you can drop onto that front forearm. Keep twisting that chest up towards the ceiling. And then releasing your back foot, coming back onto your left hand. Take your right hand and frame your right foot. Good. Raising your back knee up. I want you to use your core to pull your right knee into your chest and come into Pigeon Pose, Echopota, Kapitasana. So your right knee is going to go behind your right wrist, right heel under your left hip. And as you wiggle your left foot back, square your hips up towards the front edge of your mat as you walk your arms forward, taking your forehead to the ground. Good. Starting to let your heartbeat slow down. Feeling really good about all the hard work that you've done. Taking several breaths here. And then start to walk your hands back towards your hips, stacking your shoulders over them. Take your hands beside your hips. And then squeezing the sticky mat with your front shin and your back knee, start to bend your left knee and take your left hand and grab inside your left foot. You're working that left foot towards your left elbow crease. And if you can hook it, you might want to take your right arm and grab your left arm. So your right arm's going to go up and back as you start to reach towards that back hand. And then slowly release. Good. Planting your palms down, step it back, plank pose. Downward facing dog. Big breath in. Big exhale out. Looking in between your hands, walk or step to the front of your mat, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Pull your heart forward, lengthening your spine. Left foot stays there, right foot steps back, low lunge. Wiggle that back foot back, drop your back knee, shift your hips back, half split pose. And it's yogi's choice if you want to stay here or push that foot forward, totally up to you. Heel presses down, and you're dragging it towards the back edge of your mat, hopefully noticing a difference from when you started class to now. Pulling your chest towards your toes. And then bending into your left knee, press your hips forward, reaching both arms up. Reach up, look up, stretch up. Right hand down, left hand up. Opening your chest up towards the ceiling. And then that top hand is going to grab your back foot, pulling that heel closer towards you. Good. Repeating that quad stretch on the right side this time. And then maybe coming onto that forearm if you did on the last one. Good. Releasing your back foot, pressing your palms down, framing your left foot this time. Raise your right knee up. And then pull your left knee into your belly button and place it behind your left knee. Taking your left heel under your right hip. Coming into Echopota Kapitasana on the other side. So walking your hands forward, taking your forehead to the mat, extending your back leg behind you. And make sure you internally rotate that back thigh so your hips stay square to the front of your sticky mat. Good. As your forehead comes to the ground, start to relax. Continuing to take several breaths here. Start to walk your hands back towards you, stacking your shoulders over your hips. Bring your hands beside you, squeezing the sticky mat with your front shin and your back knee. Take your right hand and grab inside of your right foot. So eventually you're going to start working that foot towards your elbow crease, or maybe you're there already. And if you are, take your left hand and reach up and back and try and grab your right hand. It's just an option. Good. This time you're going to release and you're not going to step back to plank. You're going to roll to the outer edge of your left foot, coming into Dandasana, staff pose. So both feet come out in front of you, your hands beside you. And so from here, you're going to raise up one hip at a time, pulling the flesh out from underneath your sit bones so you find them. And then pushing through your heels, grow tall and start to hinge forward, coming into forward fold. Making sure you pull the pinky edge of your feet around as your heels press forward and toes pull back. So it's okay if you don't grab your feet. You're really working on just making those legs super straight and strong and extending your heart forward. And then coming out of forward fold, you're going to grab the outside edges of your knees, pulling them out and taking the bottoms of your feet together, coming into Badakanasana, bound angle pose. So the bottoms of your feet are going to push in and your knees are going to push away from one another. So the line of energy is like an arrow going from your groins out past your knees, and then the other energy is from the outside of your knees into your glutes, coming back towards you. And then you're going to grow tall and then shift forward slightly as Tony comes and gives you a visit and maybe sits in your lap. And then lengthening back up, pull your knees together and slowly start to roll onto your backs. Oh yeah, okay, fine. Pulling your knees into your chest, reaching around, grabbing opposite elbows. I want you to keep a hold of your right knee, extend your left leg long. Pressing your left thigh down, left heel forward, rolling your right ankle. And then switching directions. Good. Take that right knee over to the left and touch the ground, so your right hip's going to pop up. You might shimmy your left hip towards the middle of your mat. And then reaching your right arm up towards the ceiling. On your exhale, drop it down parallel to your shoulder, twisting through your belly. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. And then coming back onto your back, both knees into your chest. keeping a hold of your left knee this time, extending your right leg long. Heel presses forward, toes pull back, rolling your left ankle. Switching directions. And then take that left knee over to the right, touching the ground on the right side of your mat. Extend your left arm up high. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist a little bit more. And then coming back onto your back, bend your knees into your chest. Taking your hands in between your knees, grab outside edges of your feet, coming into that happy baby, stacking your heels over your knees, and then try and lengthen your spine forward as your shoulders stay on your back. And then you're going to release one foot at a time, extending your legs out long, palms beside you. Taking a big, full, deep belly breath in. Strong exhale out. Coming into Shavasana, corpse pose. Taking a big, full, deep belly breath in. Big exhale out. Making sure you take up as much real estate as you need to completely relax. Letting everything go. Start to wiggle your fingers and toes, deepening your breath. Becoming aware of the ground below you, noticing the air on your skin. And then inhale, arms up, reach up, stretch up, big full body stretch here. And then start to exhale your knees into your chest, pulling them in, reaching your arms around, giving yourself a nice hug. And then slowly start to roll to the right, extending your right arm out beside you, taking your right ear to your right arm, coming into that fetal position. And then pulling your knees a little closer towards you, take your left hand in front of you, palms pressed down, and slowly start to shift up, coming forward into a seated position, keeping your eyes closed and your body and mind completely relaxed, stacking shoulders over your hips. Inhale, arms up overhead, reach up, look up, stretch up. Exhale, hands together at heart center, connecting your thumbs to your sternum, growing tall. And just take a moment to remember the intention you set for class, giving yourself a silent thank you for the energy you used to take care of you today, and sending your fellow yogis a silent thank you for sharing energy with you, inspiring you to grow, to push through. Taking a cleansing breath in, strong exhale out. Namaste. Thank you for joining us for class today. We look forward to seeing you in the future. Follow us on our YouTube channel, and we'll have more to come. Namaste, motherfuckers.